Next is, there is another question. Arbitration as a process of law. All right. Arbitration as a process of law. What is process? Basically, any sort of it's a process. All right. Under law, it's a process. You can go to court and you can ask for some kind of a remedy or relief. So if there is a question, arbitration as a process of law, whatever is the question, all right, always start with an introduction on the topic. So you can start with an introduction that disputes are unavoidable in a society comprised of people from having different needs, wants, values, and views. This is from that same thing what we discussed, right? Functions of law. Dispute,
Yes, ma'am.
right? From there only I have picked so that you don't have enough things to read. It is similar only. Law provides for a form. Law provides a formal means for resolving disputes, that is the court system. If there is a dispute between you and me, we can resolve that by approaching the court. There is court system available for us. But due to increasing number of cases, some alternative ways of resolution of dispute has emerged, and arbitration is one good example of that. That means courts are same, right? If there were 10 courts, it's 10 courts only even now, but disputes are increasing, population is increasing. As a result, what has happened is there is like courts are being overburdened. All right, we need to wait for a longer time for a judgment to come basically. So due to increasing number of cases, some alternate ways of resolution of dispute has emerged. That means we now have some alternate ways of solving our dispute. What is alternate dispute resolution? That means there is a dispute between you and me, but rather than going to the regular process, that is approaching the court, we have some alternate ways. All right, that you don't need to go to regular court. There is some alternate way available to you, and arbitration is also one of such alternate ways of resolving a dispute, right? So arbitration is a very good example of such alternate ways of resolution of dispute between individuals. After giving an intro, yeah. So after you give an introduction, you can write what is arbitration. So arbitration is the process of solving an argument, right? So there is an argument or a dispute between you and me. What is arbitration? It's a process, right? It's a process that we can take. Arbitration is a process of solving an argument between people by helping them to agree to an acceptable situation. That means there is an argument between you and me, there is a dispute between you and me. Rather than going to court, we will opt for arbitration. What will happen in this case is you will compromise on some things, I will compromise on some things, all right, and finally we both will come to a conclusion where you are also not losing a lot, I am also not losing a lot, right? So what we will do is that it's a process of solving dispute. How? By way of some kind of a settlement, right? Where between parties help them to agree to an acceptable solution. We will try to figure out a solution for that dispute. Arbitration is a part of the alternate dispute resolution mechanism that benefits parties who want to avoid normal, lengthy recourse to the local courts for settlement of dispute, right? If there is a dispute between you and me, but we do not want to go to regular courts and waste years together to settle the matter, we can opt for arbitration. It is a legal technique for resolution of dispute outside court, wherein the parties to dispute refer it to one or more persons, namely arbitrators, by whose decision they will have to agree. That means what you and I will do is we both will select arbitrators, all right? There will be some unbiased 2-3 persons or maybe one person who will listen to both of us and will help us to come to a conclusion. Whatever that arbitrator or that person says, we will have to follow that. Okay, so you can remember, rather than going to court, it's an alternate way of solving a dispute. Indian law with respect to arbitration is largely based on English common law. So we have derived this concept from England, where English common law, and in India we have a legislation called Arbitration and Conciliation Act 1996 that provides for rules and regulations with regard to arbitration. All right, so you can go through this part also, what is arbitration and all that stuff. And there are some advantages also. You can write that as well. Advantages of arbitration. Minimalization of court intervention. That means court will not have much to say on it, right? We will go for an alternate way of resolving the dispute. Second is reduction in cost of dispute redressal and resolution. Otherwise, if you are going to normal courts, you need to pay heavy fees to lawyers. You need to go to court whenever they are calling you, right? It will be a lot of time that you need to spend. But here what happens, it will reduce all of those things if you are going for arbitration, right? Alternate way of resolving a dispute. But expeditious and timely disposal. That means they will not run the case for years together. It will not be like 2-3 years, you are waiting for the judgment, case is still going on. It's not like that, but it will be resolved timely, right? Within a short span of time, the matter will be resolved in case of arbitration. Next is enforcement of awards through neutrality of arbitrator. There will be one neutral person who is the arbitrator. He will not be biased, right? He will not be biased towards you. He will not be biased towards me, but he will give a neutral judgment that we both can agree to. Encouragement of foreign investment by recognizing this one, we can remove. Next is effective conduct and maintaining sound foreign relations. Yeah, these all you can mention, that these are the four main we can mention one more. Reduces burden of regular courts. Reduces burden of regular courts, and we have an alternate way of solving the dispute that is there between us. Then after you are done with all of this part, you can give one conclusion where you can write that arbitration as a way of resolution of dispute comes with multiple advantages, and all these have boosted the need for arbitration and in these modern times, right? Only because we have so much of benefit if we opt for arbitration as a process of solving dispute, right? It becomes very much convenient, it becomes very much easy. So it is becoming quite popular these days. Is this clear, arbitration?
Yes, ma'am.